All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on our digital lives and really take a look at the anatomy of an IT professional. I mean, these are the unsung heroes who build, maintain, and secure the systems we rely on every single second of the day. So let's get into it.
Ah, yes, the universal cry for help in the 21st century. We've all been there, right? That sinking feeling when you're suddenly cut off. For most of us, it's just pure frustration. But for an IT pro, that one little sentence kicks off this incredibly complex diagnostic process that weaves through hardware, software, and all those invisible networks that hold our world together.
So before we can even think about connecting to the internet, we have to start with the machine itself. This is the bedrock, the absolute foundation of IT support, having a deep, fundamental understanding of the computer sitting right in front of you. Now, being good at this isn't just about being able to use these operating systems. A real pro has to be totally fluent in all three. They've got to know how to navigate the weird quirks of file permissions on a Linux server, diagnose a bizarre startup issue on a Mac, and lock down security policies on Windows. It's kind of like being a trilingual diplomat in the world of computers. And it gets even more foundational than that. I'm talking about the hands-on, get-your-hands-dirty kind of work. Installing an operating system from absolute scratch, perfectly cloning a hard drive for a new employee's laptop, or even the painstaking process of tracing one faulty cable through a tangled mess in a server rack. This is where the digital world literally meets the physical one.
Okay, so the machine is built and ready to go. Now we move up to the next layer, the network. You can think of it like this. If the computer is the brain, the network is the body's vast circulatory system, pumping information exactly where it needs to go, instantly.
At the very heart of all this is something called TCP/IP. The easiest way to think about it is like the official rulebook for internet traffic. It chops your data into tiny little packets, puts an address on each one, sends them on their way, and then makes sure they all get put back together in the right order at the other end. Without it, the internet would be absolute chaos.
And here's the thing you have to remember. Computers don't really think in words, they think in numbers. And that's where DNS comes in. It's basically the internet's giant address book. When you type in a website name, DNS looks it up and finds the specific numeric IP address for that site's server. I mean, can you imagine if you had to memorize a long string of digits for every site you wanted to visit? No thank you.
You ever walk into a coffee shop or your office and your phone just connects to the Wi-Fi? That's not magic. That's DHCP doing its job. Think of it like a digital maitre d' at a restaurant. It sees your device walk in, finds an open table on the network, and gives you a temporary address so you can get served. It's the seamless, automatic process that just gets you online.
So when that My Wi-Fi is down call comes in, this is the detective work that starts. An IT pro methodically works through the layers. Layer 1. Is the cable even plugged in? You'd be surprised how often that's the fix. Layer 2. Is the computer actually talking to the local network switch? And layer 3, can the data packets actually find the route to get where they're going out on the wider internet? It's a very logical, step-by-step investigation.
And of course, the problems get way more complex. We're talking about managing secure VPNs so people can work safely from anywhere, hunting down and killing Wi-Fi dead zones by placing wireless access points just right, and making sure everything from your desk phone to the big shot video conference system works perfectly. Each one of those is its own deep specialty.
Okay, so we have a working machine, and it's on a functioning network. Now it's time to add that third layer, all the software, the tools, and the security defenses that you actually see and interact with every single day.
This isn't just about installing a few programs. It's about building a digital fortress around your data. We're talking about deploying antivirus on every single device, encrypting hard drives so a stolen laptop is just an expensive paperweight, setting up super specific file permissions, and having the tools to securely jump in and fix a problem from miles away.
You know that bit of magic where you sign into your work account once and suddenly you're logged into a dozen different apps? That's called identity and access management. Using systems like Single Sign-On, or SSO, IT pros act as these digital gatekeepers. They build this complex web of trust that confirms who you are and ensures you get access to exactly what you need, and not a single thing more.
So we've covered hardware, networks, and software. But you know what? All of it, every last cable, every line of code, is completely useless if it doesn't serve the final and, frankly, the most important layer of all, the people.
A massive part of this job is being a translator. In one moment, an IT pro could be deep in a super technical conversation with a developer about DNS records inside a container, and in the very next moment, they're calmly and simply guiding someone through the steps to connect a new printer.
That ability to switch communication styles is just as critical as any technical skill they have.
And so much of the job is just about having a rock-solid process. Just think about an employee's first day. IT has to create all their accounts, give them the right permissions, and hand them a laptop that's fully configured and ready to go. And then, when that employee leaves, they have to do that entire process in reverse, securely, instantly, and without a single thing falling through the cracks.
The really exceptional IT teams live by this idea. The goal isn't just to react to problems, it's to be proactive. It's about solving the problem before the user even realizes there is one. This means creating amazing documentation, building up a knowledge base so people can help themselves, and keeping a perfect inventory of everything. It's about preventing fires, not just putting them out.
So, as we start to wrap this up, just think about the incredible journey we've been on. We started with the simple, physical act of plugging in a cable. We moved up through the invisible logic of the network. We layered on all the software that makes a business run, and we ended up at the most complex component of all, human psychology. It's just an incredible spectrum of skills.
And that really leads to one last thought. When you consider all this technical knowledge, from TCP/IP all the way to Active Directory, maybe the single most critical skill an IT pro can have is just empathy. The ability to understand a user's frustration, to communicate clearly, and to patiently guide them to a solution. Because at the end of the day, that's what technology is all about, empowering people.